James and the Troublesome Trucks. James had not seen the Fat Controller for some time. He had been left alone for being naughty, and was not even allowed out to push coaches and trucks in the yard. "Oh dear," he thought, "I will have to stay in the shed for always, and no one will ever see my red coat again." And James began to cry. At last the Fat Controller arrived and came to see him. "I can see that you are sorry, James. I hope now that you will be a better engine. You have given me a lot of trouble, and people are laughing at my railway. I do not like it at all," he said. "Now I want you to pull some trucks for me." James was delighted and puffed away. "Here are your trucks, James," said Thomas. "Have you got some bootlaces ready?" And Thomas ran off, laughing. Oh, said the trucks. "We want a proper engine, not a red monster." But James took no notice and started as soon as the guard was ready. Come along," he puffed. But the trucks were being naughty. We won't," they screamed as he pulled them out of the station. The trucks tried very hard to make James give up, but he didn't care. Sometimes their brakes would slip on, and sometimes their axles would run hot. Each time the trouble had to be put right, and each time James would start again, but he was not going to let them beat him. Give up, you can't pull us, you can't, shouted the trucks. I can and I will, puffed James, and slowly but surely he pulled them along the line. At last they saw Gordon's Hill. This was the famous place where Gordon the big engine had once got stuck. Little Edward, always a kind engine, had to push Gordon up the hill. "Look out for trouble, James," warned his driver. "We'll go fast and get them up the hill before they know it," he whispered. "Don't let them stop you." So James went faster and faster, and soon they were halfway up the hill. I'm doing it, James panted. But it was hard work. Will the top ever come? He thought. Then, with a sudden jerk, it all became much easier. James thought it was over and that he had pulled the trucks to the top without any trouble. But his driver shut off steam. "They've done it again," he said. "We left our tail behind. Look!" The last trucks were running backwards down the hill. The coupling had broken. But the guard was very brave. He carefully stopped the trucks and climbed out to warn other engines. "That's why it was so easy," said James as he backed the other trucks carefully down the hill. "What silly things trucks are. There might have been an accident." Edward had come along and offered to help. "No, thank you," said James. "I'll pull them myself." "Good," said Edward. "Don't let them beat you." So James got ready. Then with a peep, he was off. I can do it, he puffed, pulling as hard as he could. "Peep, pip, peep, you're doing well," whistled Edward, as James slowly struggled up the hill, with clouds of smoke and steam pouring from his funnel. I've done it, he cried, and his driver cheered. They reached the station safely, and James was resting in the yard when Edward pulled up. "Peep, peep," he whistled. Then James saw the Fat Controller. "Oh dear," he said to himself, "what will he say?" But the Fat Controller was smiling. He had been in Edward's train and had seen everything. "You've made the most troublesome trucks on the line behave," he said. "After that, you deserve to keep your red coat."